The recording and documentary is part of my contribution to the Action Moves People United project, sponsored by the Educational, Scientific, and Cultural arm of the United Nations, UNESCO. In May 2016, I started working on a spoken word project for peace. My flute was used to accompany a poem entitled I Cried, written by Carol Wade and spoken in both Spanish and English. It was set to music by the new age pianist Catherine Marie Charlton. She improvised both the piano and the flute parts and recorded these at her River Dawn studios in Chester County. Since I am a classical musician and I'm trained to read music rather than to improvise, I took her recorded music and transcribed it to printed music, which I then practiced along with Catherine's piano recording. I recorded my flute solo at East Room Studio in Philadelphia. My recording engineer, Drew Tarazano, followed the score on his computer during our recording session, and while we discussed the plans to record in his adjacent sitting room.
Should we have the spoken dialogue in?
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we don't want it, obviously that's there for like the dynamic arc that we're trying to create, but also like we don't want it to obscure your ability to kind of, flow with the piano part as it's there.
Right, we could try it both ways and see
Yeah.
what's more effective.
Yeah.
Tuve tantos sentimientos, emociones y miedo cuando pensé en nuestro mundo y derramé muchas lágrimas.
Even more so that after we submit our section,
Yeah.
they are going to go over and re-voice.
Okay.
Yeah, so then the
yeah.
voices are going to be responsive
Oh,
to
that's
the
excellent.
music.
I felt so many feelings, emotions, and fears. When I thought about our world, I cried so many tears.
So it's just the piano by itself with the first stanza. And of course for every stanza it's both in English and in Cuban Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So which is another thing I had to really think about at the end. It's the Spanish version that starts to say, okay, let's do something about this. Where, I'm cued into the English. And when I hear that, I play it differently. But when the Spanish speaker is saying it, I need to clue into it earlier. The double CD set was released on the International Day of Peace, September 21st, 2016. More than 300 people with various backgrounds and specialties from over 30 countries have come together with a single unifying mission, promoting peace in this world. The CD release announcement accompanied UNESCO's second annual Nelson Mandela Day festivities in Washington, D.C. in July. I joined both American roots artist Grant Malloy Smith and Sharon Katz and the Peace Train at the Sylvan Theater at the base of the Washington Monument for a special musical event focusing on unity. I'm really hoping that we're going to get a nice take of me taking that high B flat to nothing at the very end. Last note.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a pretty cool fingering for that, so
Okay.
I'm going to try that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have gone down.
That's your favorite thing to do. Get higher as you get softer.
That's exactly right.
The way that you indicate the dynamics with the flute part first, and then
Yeah, it starts low register.
right.
And being like that amorphic kind of, not quite there, but there. It's going to be soft.
Sure.
As it gets more colorful, it will get louder on its own just because the tone will intensify.
Right.
And then I start going up to the upper register.
Right.
It's really going to get
Measure 21 here.
much bigger.
Right.
Yeah, and of course that emphatic ending is like pleading.
Tuve tantos sentimientos, emociones y miedo cuando pensé en nuestro mundo y derramé muchas lágrimas.
I felt so many feelings, emotions, and fears. When I thought about our world, I cried so many tears.
Lloré por los sueños que murieron antes de haber nacido. Lloré por todos los corazones que sufrieron, que estaban rotos y despedazados.
I cried for all the dreams that die before they're born. I cried for all the broken hearts, so tattered and so torn.
Lloré por la forma en que nos tratamos unos a los otros, a nuestro prójimo. Lloré porque se ha perdido tanta naturaleza y por la destrucción que existe en la tierra.
I cried for the way we treat each other, our fellow man. I cried for the loss of nature and the destruction of the land.
Lloré por los inocentes, víctimas de la guerra. Lloré por los rezagados, que siempre llevarán las heridas.
I cried for all the innocent victims of the wars. I cried for all those left behind who will ever bear the scars.
Lloré por todo el dolor que nuestro mundo exhausto ha sufrido. Lloré por aquellos que hemos perdido y por todo lo bueno que hubiera sido.
I cried for all the pain our weary world has known. I cried for all those we've lost and all the good they'd shown.
Pero solo pude llorar por un tiempo, porque las lágrimas solas no resuelven los problemas. Es hora de secarse las lágrimas, es hora de encontrar la humanidad, de mirar más allá de nuestras diferencias hacia un lugar donde todos nos encontremos, el lugar de nuestra unión.
But I could only cry for so long, 'cause tears alone would never right the wrongs. Time to wipe the tears away, time to find our humanity. To look beyond the differences to the place where we all meet, to the place of our unity.